Hello and Happy New Year to you. My name is Sally and I am one of the makeup artists working with Look Fabulous Forever, which is skincare, hair care and makeup specifically designed for older faces. Today I want to challenge you to try a new makeup look for the new year. New year, new makeup. I think it's really easy to get into a little bit of a rut with makeup. So I think it's quite fun sometimes to do something slightly different. Give yourself permission, give yourself time to have a little play. It's a bit miserable outside today, so it's quite nice to actually sit and focus on doing something creative, which just happens to be on your face. So I am going to do something. I'm going to use some colours that are slightly different from me. I love charity shop shopping and I bought this pink jumper recently in a charity shop. It's a little bit on the cooler side of the pink. It's still a warmish pink, but I am slightly warmer rather than cooler. So it's a slightly cooler pink than my normal peaches and corals. So I'm going to use some slightly different makeup and see how it looks at the end. I might add a little scarf at the end that's got a slightly warmer colour in it as well. So if you're not sure what colours you are, whether you are warmer, whether you're cooler or whether you're more neutral, we have a wonderful colour quiz on the Look Fabulous Forever website. So if you're not sure, go ahead, it doesn't take long and that might really help you to maybe try some slightly different colours in makeup. I've already prepared my skin this morning. I've used my cleanser and even though it's January, I've put on my SPF 50 plus serum, which I wear every day, and I've put on my day cream, my Smoother Face Day Cream, and I have let these products sink in before starting makeup. Really important to let those layers sink in before you start on your makeup primers. The first product that I'm going to use is Smooth Like Silk Face Prime, and this is a brilliant product for just preparing your skin for foundation. So I'm going to do a couple of pumps. It's colourless, it's clear, and what this does is it smooths out any open pores, any fine lines to create a really smooth base for older skin, so that when you put your foundation on, it goes on to a smoother base and therefore goes on better and lasts all day. Very important for me to basically just put my makeup on and not worry about it all day. So I just put this on with fingers, clean fingers, and put it everywhere. I'm not putting it on my eyes, I'm not putting it on my lips, but I put it everywhere else. Now, it's New Year, I've had some late nights and I'm looking pretty tired actually, and I've got some quite dark circles under my eyes, darker than normal. So I'm actually going to use a product called Colour Balance Neutralizer in Peach, which will just help to get rid of some of the really darkness under my eyes. Peach counteracts sort of dark brown and bluiness. So I'm going to just put a little bit on directly from the applicator. It does look, when you put it on, it does actually go on very peachy. So don't panic, it's not going to get rid of them, but it will counterbalance so that when you've put your foundation concealer on, the bluiness will just go a little bit. You can also use it if you've got any really dark pigmentation areas, maybe from sun damage, age spots on your face. It's really good. The peach one. We do a green colour, which is for redness as well. So I'm going to use today Continuous Cover Foundation in shade number 2. This is a lovely, lovely foundation for older skin. It's hydrating, nice coverage, sort of medium coverage. I quite like to add a tiny little bit of Light Look Beauty Balm as well, just to add a little bit of glow. My skin's looking a little bit dull after all the excesses of Christmas, so I'm going to add a tiny bit of 0.5 Light Look Beauty Balm. That's the foundation on my hand. You can just use the foundation, or if you want a lighter look, you can just use the beauty balm. A little bit of beauty balm on my hand, and then for me, I like to add a tiny bit more primer, just a little bit of primer. I'm kind of custom making my foundation, and I'm now going to use my foundation brush number 10 to mix them together and to apply to the face. I like to start in the middle where I probably need the most help, and then with the brush I'm just buffing the product out. Worth investing in some good brushes just to make your foundation go on really well, to make your eye makeup blend really well. It just makes it quicker. And if you've chosen the right colour, you shouldn't need to go down your neck. And so we do also have a colour foundation quiz which will help you choose the correct colour for your foundation or base on our website, which is really helpful. What I'm going to do now is just take my fingers and just, with the warmth of my clean fingers, just sort of pat it all in. Now I still need a little bit of extra help, so I'm going to use some concealer, and I'm going to use our beautiful Cover to Cover concealer in shade number 202, and I'm going to apply that with my concealer brush number 4. This is a lovely creamy product, which again, really good on older skin, not to have a concealer that is drying and cakey. And a little bit also into the inner V here, where it's a little bit bluey. And just take my ring finger and tap, sort of stippling the product in. I'm also going to put a little bit of concealer just on a few little areas where I've got some sunspots, just to cover those. If you've got broken capillaries around your nose area, it's great for just putting a little bit there as well, just to cover those up. So I need to set this now. I want to keep it all in place. So I'm going to use some beautiful, really sheer translucent powder. This one, there's only one colour. And I'm going to take my big powder brush, number 1, and just dust that over. Really important with older skin to have a powder that is super fine, that doesn't sit in our lifelines. So this product is specifically for that, so it's brilliant. I'm going to take a smaller brush. This is my brush number 7. Just put a little bit, just a little bit of extra just around the eye area. So that's the foundation done. That's my canvas on which I'm going to paint the picture. I'm going to use my eye prime, smooth out eye prime, and this is a brilliant product. You don't need very much, probably about that much. And I'm just going to, you can either put that on with, again, clean fingers. I quite like to put it on, I've just wiped my concealer brush. I'm putting it on with my concealer brush just onto my eyelid, ready for my eye makeup. This will stop my eyeshadow from creasing, and it will create a really good base to cover up any discoloration that I've got, any little broken veins on my eyelids, and just makes my eyeshadow go onto a much smoother base and stay on all day without creasing. What I'm going to do now, while I remember, is to put my Never Feather lip prime, which is our 3rd primer, onto my lip area, onto the outer edge, so that it's dry by the time I do my lips. So I'm going to pop this on. So I'm putting it on the outer edge, and this is a great product to stop your lipstick from feathering and bleeding upwards into the little fine lines that we all get. So I am wearing this sort of pink, so I'm going to be a little bit bold and wear a trio that I don't often wear. I am going to use the soft purples trio, which you can wear it if you're cool or if you're warm. I tend to go for the browns more often, so this is slightly different for me, but I thought, I'm wearing pink, I'm going to go for a slightly pinker lipstick than I normally wear, and I'm going to go for some different colours just to see what it looks like. I'm not tattooing it, I could take it off. So I think that's the thing, it's very easy to not try something and you think, oh, give yourself a permission just to try something different. You might be really surprised. Before I start that, I'm going to today, I don't always do it in this order, but today I'm going to put my Instant Bright highlight on underneath my eyebrows first, so to ring the changes. So this is a little clicky pen. It's a little bit of highlighter. I'm just going to put just a little bit under my brows. I'll put a little bit on my cheeks as well. And a little stripe down my nose. This is a product that just creates that bit of dewiness, a little bit of highlighter without being too obvious. So going back to the trios, the first colour I'm going to use is the top one. So this is called Lilac Mist. And I'm going to put that all over my lid using our lovely brush number 7, this one. None of the products are too obvious. They are very gentle, matte eyeshadows, and that means you can build them up. So if you're not used to wearing eye makeup, you don't have to be frightened. You're not going to look too obvious. But if you do want them to be a bit stronger, just build them. Not one that I wear very often, to be honest, but quite like it. It's just nice to ring the changes. Sometimes you get so bored with your same old makeup. We all do it. We all just stick to the same things. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the second colour in the trio. So that is this one. It's called Pewter Grey. This is kind of a bit of a favourite, actually. I do sometimes wear this all over as a wash of colour. So I'm going to apply this with a smaller brush. I'm going to use my brush number 9, this one, and I'm going to just put this one into the sort of socket line, just above the socket line, just to give a little bit of definition to my eyes. If you're not quite sure where to do it, I'm just going to do that, just to give me a little bit of a template. So you can just put it on directly if you want to. So I'm doing it so that I can still see the colour when my eye is open. And if you've got hooded eyes, putting it that little bit higher, the darker colour will create a slightly false socket line, which makes your eyes look a little bit more lifted. When you're trying new colours, and particularly when you're putting on eyeshadow that's a different colour, it will look weird, just like when you put lipstick on that's not what you normally wear. And I always say, don't panic, because until it's all blended, until you've done everything, makeup never quite looks right. I'm going to go back in now with the bigger brush. This is brush number 7 again, and I'm just going to blend. I'm blending it with quite little short, firm strokes, out to in. Blending is the key, particularly when we're older and we've got little fine lines here. If you don't blend, it can look a bit bobbly. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to add just a pop of something a bit shimmery. I'm going to add at this stage one of our creamy eyeshadow sticks in Pearl. So I usually wear the Champagne. This one is a little bit more pinky, which I think will tone quite nicely with my jumper. Let's see. So I'm just going to put it in the centre. You see I put a bit there. In the centre. Blend that. Blend it with your finger, concealer brush, or even your blender brush. So this just adds a pop of shimmer. I'm going to put a little bit actually into my inner corner as well, because I'm looking a bit tired, so that will just brighten that area just slightly. And another place to put this one, I love this colour actually, is on your Cupid's bow. What I'm going to do now is add a little bit of eyeliner. Now, I could have used the brown. I usually wear the dark brown, but I'm going to use a soft grey eyeliner today. The brown would have worked on me, but let's go for soft grey. So I'm just going to put that along the base of my lashes, starting at the outer corner. Slightly lifting it to create a little bit of extra lift. I want everything to be upwards rather than downwards. Eyeliners, and that's something that you're a bit scared of, give it a go, because again, it can really transform an older eye if it's done properly and not too obviously. So get as close to the lashes as you can. For me, eyeliner makes a big difference. I've got quite fair lashes, so I'm even going to put a little bit underneath. You don't need to put any underneath if you don't want to, but this is quite a nice soft colour. Ladies don't like putting eyeliner underneath. They just use a little bit of mascara. And I bring the bottom up to meet the top. So you can see it's a little bit kind of winged and lifted at that outer edge. What I'm going to do now is I am going to go in with the third colour, which is aubergine. So it's this one, aubergine, which is the darkest colour of our soft purple trio. And what I'm going to do is to take a very clever brush. This is our brush number 8, which is a very sort of thin wedge brush. And I'm going to use a little bit of the aubergine, taking a little bit onto the brush. And then what I'm doing is I'm just taking off the excess on each side, and I'm just going to go over my eyeliner just to do two things. It will set it really well because I'm putting a powder on it. It will soften the effect of a pencil, which is, I think, much nicer on an older eye, not to make it look too much like a neat liquid line, because our eyelids are not as smooth as they used to be. Just makes the base of your lashes look thicker if you put a little bit of liner. Even if you don't use the pencil liner, you can just go in with the wedge brush and a little bit of the darker shade on the trio. And that works really well with all the trios that we do. So again, underneath. What I'm going to do now is just to take my smaller brush again, my brush number 9, and a tiny bit of that aubergine, the darker colour, and just put it just on that outer corner of my eye, just to give that little bit of extra definition here. Rather than going in too dark straight away. And that's the thing when you're trying new colours. Build up slowly in layers and blend between those layers. What I'm going to do is to now put some mascara on. I'm going to curl my lashes. So again, if you've never curled your lashes and you've got a little bit of time and you've got some eyelash curlers, give it a go, because it can make a real difference. Even if your lashes are reasonably short, just adding a little bit of curl to the top lashes will just open the eyes and lift them. I needed that today. So I'm going to get my Lied Lash Mascara in Black Waterproof. I always find if you've used a different colour eyeshadow, wait till you've put your mascara on before you decide whether you like it or don't like it, because that will really finish off the eyes. It just frames the eyes, putting on your mascara. I like to just do the top ones first and wiggle the product through my lashes. This is a lovely mascara for older lashes because it doesn't have little bits in it and it doesn't make your lashes go spiky and dry. I'm going to put a little bit underneath, not very much, but just a little bit on my lower lashes. Just looking down as I do that slightly. I need to just do my brows now, and I'm going to take my spoolie brush, my favourite spoolie brush number 6, just to groom them into place. So I'm going to use Bring Back Brow Shape, this one, in blonde. So I'm going to give it a shake. This is a brow paint specifically designed for older faces because it's waterproof. It's got a little inbuilt paintbrush really. So it allows you to paint in any little areas where you've either got no brow hair at all or you've got gaps. So for me, I'm just going to quickly, just using feathery strokes, just elongate my brows a little bit and fill in the gaps. So what I like to do now, really important, is to go back with the spoolie brush and soften it. What I'm going to do now is give myself some colour on my face and my lips, which will hopefully bring the whole thing together. So I'm going to use my peach cream blusher, this one. I might add a little bit of Desert Rose, depending if I need a bit more colour. So I'm going to use my middle finger just to apply. I need some colour in the winter. Blusher, I think, just can bring an older face to life. And this is a cream, it's such a lovely blusher. It's a cream formulation that turns into a very sort of silky powder. So it's very nice on older skin. Easy to apply, easy to build up. And then what I like to do is to take a blusher brush. This is our brush number 2. And I'm just going to blend. You can put it on if you want to directly with the brush, but I quite like to place it and then I like to blend it. Now, because I am warmer in colouring, if I apply bronzer, I like to do it after my blusher. But if you're cooler, I would do the bronzer, if you want some bronzer, do that after you've done your powder, before your blusher. So this is our Enduring Summer Bronze. I'm going to add a little sweep of that just actually over my blusher today, just to give me a little bit. I just feel sometimes in the winter I need that little bit of bronzer. I know a lot of people only use bronzer in the summer, but our bronzer, although it looks very orange, it's not, and it just can give you that little bit of extra warmth. You can put it as a bronzer with a big brush as well if you want to. You can even use it on your neck. You can use it here as a sort of slightly contour. But I just find, for me in the winter, it just brings me alive a little bit. Now I need some lips. So I'm going to use, first of all I'm going to outline my lips and fill in with Defining Lip Liner in Roseberry. This is one of my personal favourites. We've got a whole range of lip liners which are as soft as the eyeliners. So it's just a little retractable pencil. So I'm outlining my lips first, and then I'm going to fill in, so I'm not left with a line. These are so lovely and soft. And as I said earlier, if you're not sure, we've got so many lipsticks which are good for cooler, warmer, neutral. Go on the website and do the colour quiz to maybe give yourself some new ideas for lip colours. So what I'm going to use is our beautiful lustrous lipstick in this one, Soft Coral. So Soft Coral is sort of on the neutral. If you're warmer or if you're cooler, you can wear it. I thought this would go really nicely with my new charity shop pink jumper. So I'm going to give that a go today. See what we think. I'm just going to, for speed, put it on directly with the bullet, but if you want it to really stay well, put it on with a lip brush, our lip brush number 5. Yeah, it's pretty good with the jumper. So I could just leave it like that, or because I'm slightly warmer, I am a bit of a gloss girl. I do like my lip gloss. I'm going to go in with a little bit, tiny bit of gloss, Gorgeous Gloss Lip Shine in Cinnamon Kiss, which is slightly warmer. So I'm only going to put that in the centre. But if you've got a lipstick that maybe for you is a fraction bluey and you want to make it a little bit warmer, then going in with a slightly warmer gloss is one way of doing that. And vice versa, if you've got a lipstick which for you is too orangey, if you're much cooler, and you put Romantic Rose, which is a slightly pinker gloss that we do on top, that also will just make it look a little bit cooler. So ways to play with lipsticks, with gloss. So that for me, I think has brought it all together, putting the lips on. Always wait till you've put your lips on before you decide whether you like the colours. Just a sweeping of powder now. A little bit more of my translucent powder just to set the look. I'm going to add my scarf now. So this has got the pink in, but it's also got brown, which hopefully will just give me that little bit of extra warmth, literally. I'm ready now for the new year. New you, new year, new makeup for the new year. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope it's given you some ideas, and if you have stuck to the same colour palette for many, many years, as lots of people do, maybe this year treat yourself and try something slightly different colours. Go on the website to have a look, do the colour quiz and see what colours are on offer, and look at some of the videos maybe to give you ideas of different colourings, maybe more like yours. This for me is not a colour that I normally wear. I don't usually wear the soft purple trio, but I think it works. I'd love to hear your comments below, and if you've got any colours that maybe you have tried that you've not tried before, it's really helpful if you put that down and let other people know, because we can all learn from each other then. So thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year to you all, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.